Hi, I'm Mark. This is my 2022 review for Capricorn Sun sign and Capricorn rising. At the start of the year, on the 1st of January, we have Jupiter in Pisces. Now, Jupiter is a co-ruler of Pisces. Obviously, there's great benefit to him being in that sign. Now, for you, it's going to be into the 3rd house. Wherever Jupiter touches, he expands. So your mind will expand. It's an opportunity to learn as much as possible. It's also focus on travel and communication as well. So there's a time when you'll be enhanced with your communication levels. You'll be able to relate very well with people, and you'll get on very well, especially people in your local area and with your family. These relationships could benefit you greatly. The other thing with Jupiter is it brings opportunities. So there are opportunities abound when Jupiter's in the sign that he rules. There's opportunities to learn, to grow, to evolve, and also there'll be spiritual opportunities as well in Pisces to become more understanding and to become more tolerant of others. On the 14th of January, Mercury makes his first retrograde motion, and this will be in your 2nd house, so it's not a good time to deal with finances. But on the positive side, on the 18th, Uranus goes direct, and he's in your 5th house. Now, Uranus will slowly move forward, and although it seemed that you've been going over old ground over the last few months, and you maybe got a little bit tired of all this repetition, now things will start to move forward. And as he moves out of the shadow period and Mercury will then go direct again, there'll be a lot of changes coming through. And these will be slow changes, but they will have a positive outcome. Now in the 5th house, it's to do with creativity, how you express yourself. It's also to do with love affairs and children. So all these things will now start to have changes forming around them. On the 19th, the moon's nose changed sign and houses. And this is into Taurus and Scorpio. The north node moves into Taurus, south node into Scorpio. This means the eclipses will happen this year in these two signs, and these will be areas of great growth where tremendous work can be achieved during the year. The other thing about the eclipses is there needs to be balance where these appear, because they will be in opposite signs. So the nodes will help to balance things out in the whole year. And the main issue between the 5th and the 11th house is freedom and closeness. On one end you've got the 5th house that wants the freedom to go out, socialise, and then the other end you've got the 11th house that wants that closeness and to belong. On the 4th of February, we have all the planets moving in a direct motion. So this is time to go full steam ahead. Then on the 1st of March, we have a fantastic aspect for you Capricorns, because we have Mars, Pluto and Venus forming a triple conjunction in your sign, and this is your 1st house. This is very personal to you. With Venus, Pluto, it's about intense desire. This is a good time to meet someone and have a new relationship, because it'll be very intense. Or you can intensify an existing relationship. With Mars Pluto, it's more about ambition. It's more about that ruthlessness to succeed. And being a Capricorn, you know all about ambition. And then with Venus Mars coming together, this is a very creative element to it. This can bring out the best in you when they're working well together. You need to be very wary on the 5th of April, because we have Mars approaching Saturn for a conjunction in your 2nd house. This is not a time to be dealing with finances. This is a time just to step back and let things pass, because this aspect will happen for 4 or 5 days and then it will pass. Saturn limits Mars, puts restrictions on him, so it's a time when you might get frustrated, and if you push ahead too fast, it will be like banging your head against the wall. So it's just best to back off and to let this one pass. On the 12th of April, we have the coming together of Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces. Now this doesn't happen very often. The last time was in 1856. And it will bring cultural changes to our arts. it will also bring a surge in spiritual energy and a lot of compassion, and will help us to overcome the negativity of the past 2 years with the pandemic, and maybe there'll be a collective change of heart there. For you personally, it's happening in your 3rd house, so this will expand your mind. This is a great time to use your imagination. It's a great time to do anything like writing or poetry, things that activate that imagination. Photography as well, all creative things that will receive a boost. If you work in a creative industry, this is a double whammy, because you will get a double dose of imagination and creativity. The last time this conjunction happened, Sigmund Freud was born, and he made considerable contributions to psychoanalytics and advanced in psychology. And there'll be a great interest in these subjects again with this conjunction, and also with the rise in spiritual energy. There'll be interest in philosophy and the spiritual side of life. Now, bringing together the 2 and the 3, because this happens at 23 degrees, is bringing knowledge and creativity together, and diplomacy and compassion. And the 2 and the 3 together make 5, so that's change. We need change in our lives, we need variety in our lives now, and this will help you to do that. Now, towards the end of the month, Venus contacts these 2, so you have the aesthetic side of Venus with the imagination of Neptune, which is very good for visualization. It's also good for meditating as well. And then we have the influence of Jupiter and Venus, which is good for your finances and also good for relating to others. On the 29th of April we have Jupiter making another positive aspect, this time to Pluto. This is in your 1st house. This is a time when you'll have great faith in the changes that you want to make, and you'll be able to put creative changes into place. And it may be that you want to change your look, you may want to change how you speak to people, how you dress, any one of these things. It could be possible to put into place under this aspect, but you will have the faith and the conviction to be able to do it. On the 30th of April we have our first partial solar eclipse of the year. This features in Taurus and is at 10 degrees Taurus. So if you are a Capricorn and your Sun is between 5 and 15 degrees of Capricorn, this is going to affect you quite acutely, because it'll be in trine aspect. Now, this new moon is in the 5th house. This is all about bringing on new ways of being creative and expressing yourself. It's also focused on children and having fun and socialising as well. Now, this eclipse belongs to the Saros 6-9 series, which is renowned for focusing on relationships with father figures and authority figures. Now, in the 5th house, it could focus not only on your relationship to your father, but also your relationship with your children, because children also ruled by the 5th house. Now, this eclipse is renowned for bringing responsibilities on board. It's also renowned for bringing new commitments that you need to accept. So you might find this happens around those 5th house areas as well. The eclipse in the 5th house for you will not only focus on your creativity, it will give you a real boost of confidence as well. And it also could bring new love into your life, because the 5th house is also about love affairs. Uranus is conjunct in this new moon, so there could be sudden changes, exciting things that happen that could be to do with you socialising. It could be that you meet different and exciting people when you're out enjoying yourself. Or it could be that there are different creative ideas that come into your head, things that you wouldn't have dreamed of doing before. In May, Jupiter changes sign and house again. This time it moves into Aries, and this is your 4th house. So focuses on the home. This is home and family, and it could be that you want to make the home a better place, and there could be changes within the home, or it could be that there is an opportunity to move and to have a new home. Either way, the focus is going to be in this area. Now, the other thing is about your personal security and your personal emotions. This is where you'll be concentrating some energy on them as well. and the past. Could be that you want to look into your past, your family history, where you can learn things from that. But either way, Jupiter in this house will expand all those areas, and this is where you can grow and evolve. On the 10th of May we have Mercury going retrograde for the second time, and unfortunately he's going to be retrograde with the next total lunar eclipse on the 16th. Now this will make it difficult because it's in your 11th house, and the idea of a total eclipse in the 11th house is to communicate and to network and make new friends and connections, but this may be a bit difficult with that Mercury retrograde there. The other thing is the total eclipse is conjunct the Moon South Node, so this will bring up the past, maybe feelings from the past, events from the past may flash up. You may get deja vu, things may repeat themselves, or people may pop up from the past as well. And this isn't really what we need. We need to concentrate on the future. So this could be a test. This could be a test for later on when the next lunar eclipse will be in Taurus, conjunct the North Node. At the end of June, Neptune goes retrograde, and Jupiter follows suit at the end of July. So these planets will quieten down. Their energy turns inward, and they won't be so centre stage. But Uranus is prepared to take over, because on the 31st he makes a conjunction with the Moon's North Node. Now this is fantastic because it will bring new opportunities. This is happening in your 5th house of creativity, so there could be new creative ideas that come through. Also there may be doors open, because the North Node can open new doors, and it could be that you find yourself going down a different path. It could be any number of things that happen during this period, and it's a very exciting time. You could meet new people, you could start a new relationship, you could start a new creative hobby, and it could be any number of things that trigger off this excitement within you. And it's a great time to push towards that North Node. Try things that you wouldn't have tried before. We talked a bit about the South Node and how it's familiar and it's connected to the past. Well, the North Node is unfamiliar, and there's no connection to the past. It's all totally different. So it's a fantastic opportunity to try new things. On the 9th of September, Mercury goes retrograde for the 3rd time, but it doesn't interfere with the following eclipse on the 25th of October, which is good news. This eclipse is in Scorpio and belongs to the Saras 6 South series, which is renowned for bringing power and control in our lives. This is happening in your 11th house. So it could be, if you're involved in groups, that you suddenly are asked to take power or control of the group. It could be through default, but it could be through your choice. Now the other thing is that it brings or manifests tremendous strength in relationships. So this could be very good because the 11th house is about friends and our relationship with friends and colleagues, and also in those group situations. Now, with it being in Scorpio, there's a great intensity to this, and it could be as well that it's time to set some new goals and aims for the future, more realistic goals that are achievable. Our last major astrological event of the year is the total lunar eclipse in Taurus on the 8th of November. Now this eclipse belongs to the same series as the previous one in October, so the theme is the same. But this time it's featuring in your 5th house. Now this is the social house. This is a time when you want to have fun. This is a time when you want to express yourself. We have the Moon conjunct Uranus, so there could be new and exciting things to do, new and exciting people to meet. And it's also conjunct the North Node, which we know opens doors. So this could be great. But there is a few complications that come with this eclipse. The Moon, who's opposite the Sun, is conjunct the South Node, so that's pulling you back to the past. It's also conjunct Venus and Mercury, so there's a lot of planets pulling the other way. Now, there's an added complication. Now we have Saturn sitting right in the middle, forming a T-square. So Saturn's trying to take a square on both sides. This is challenging. Saturn's sitting in the house of finances, so it could be financial restrictions or limitations that hold you back from doing what you want to do. Now, the best way to do the T-square, I always say, is to concentrate any energy into the empty sector. Now, the empty sector will be the 8th house. This is shared resources. Concentrate energy in that area. Also, it's to do with intimacy, and it's to do with your perception of things. So maybe you need to look at things differently, from a different psychological angle, and gain perception so that you can look at any problems that come up and you'll be able to deal with them. And by balancing the energies out, you form Grand Cross, which is really dynamic energy, and they'll all work together. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the review. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe, and if you'd like to leave me a comment, I'll be glad to hear from you.